All right. Welcome back to Mondo and the Big Guy. So I was just telling Mondo a story about how I saw my boss today for the first time, and he said that I lost some weight, and I don't feel like I have.
No, absolutely not. As I'm sitting next to you right now, I'm getting pulled towards you.
Yeah, I have my own gravitational pull, is what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
That's fucking great.
Sorry, I mean Chex Mix, by the way. I'm starving right now.
All right, eat it up. Eat it up. How many tons do you do today?
15.3 tons.
15.3. So as everybody knows, Mondo works for the sanitation department. He's not going to tell you where, but he does work for the sanitation department, and he
getting absolutely annihilated right now.
They cut the schedule down a few days a week, so they got to back everything up into 3 days that they would normally do in 5.
Yeah, and definitely a lot of more people are cleaning out their places. So I mean, it's understandable right now. They have nothing to do.
What's the deal with like the special pickup? Like
there's no such thing as special pickups.
No, right now, no.
I mean, as far as like a metal pickup is concerned, that would be the only special pickup that we have.
Gotcha.
And that has been delayed until further notice, which no one has an idea of when that's going to be, when normalcy will come back. I'm assuming June, maybe, if that. But even then, I mean, we have a very select, small force, and if one of us does get it,
then you have to shut it down.
If you shut it down for 2 weeks, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could probably go 2 weeks, but
no, you can't.
After that,
no, you can't.
I mean,
you can't go 2 weeks.
Pile up.
Unreal. You wouldn't be able to do 2 weeks. If we did 15 tons every week for every day that we do it, which is 30 plus tons, because Wednesdays is leaf pickup and leaves. Leaves and trees, and then forget it. It's impossible. You can't do it. You'd have to hire a private company, and a private company does not take as much as we take.
Gotcha.
Not even close.
Do you guys have to take classes on like composting and like that kind of stuff? Like, do you have to learn the process of like what happens to the garbage, or do you?
No. I mean, there's nothing like that at all. I mean, the compost put is actually pretty interesting because I think where I live in the community, I want to actually bring that up next month. If we could start composting.
Do you have a community garden?
No. Yes and no, but we do. It's a huge area, where I live. It's really big. It's got a lot of landscaping. So it's easy to be able to use any compost that we'd have for mulch or any of the products. Instead of getting it in, we could just use that.
Gotcha.
So I want to start bringing it into the board and see what they think about that. I know composting does take a little while to do. I don't know.
I'm sure the process takes a little while.
But I think it would be beneficial to the earth as well, because normally some things that can be broken down by the earth in a week or two, if it's thrown into other garbages, whatever, it takes like 100 years or so. So there's no point of that.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to move into a better direction with that.
Okay. What so where my daughter lives, Avery, they have a community garden. I think they have a composting thing there where like they bring like their vegetable peels and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing. So like for instance, like the banana peels that I when I eat a banana, whatever, when I freeze it, I don't throw the excuse me, I don't throw the peels out.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I'll walk outside and I'll just throw it in the garden, because in like a week or two it's gone. The earth will eat it, the worms, whatever, the ants, whatever will take it and they'll utilize it, or the ground will take it and use it as nutrients, and
Yeah, I guess it would smell if you don't do it the right way and you don't put the right things in there, but
I mean, for a banana peel, I don't know if it would smell.
Not like if it's just one banana peel, but I'm saying like a bunch of garbage, a bunch of fruits and vegetables.
Oh yeah, 100%. So like you have to use the compost. I'm that like churning thing. I'd have to look into it more. I do want to bring it up, and hopefully we do go along with that.
Her dad and her mom, talking about Danielle, they did it for a while. They have one, I think, in the backyard still. I don't know if they use it because they haven't been doing much gardening themselves.
Yeah, composting. Yeah, well, that's something I've been interested in a while now. I know I was looking into it a couple of years ago, and then obviously life happens and you forget about it. But I definitely want to get back into it and see if we can do something. It'd be really cool.
What can you grow around here? I mean, I guess you can grow pretty much any vegetable.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
I don't know. Is there I know there's certain places in the U.S. that grow more one type vegetable because of their types of climate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I don't have a green thumb like that. But it's something to
look up, research.
Yeah, research stuff like that. It just not even that, but you can use it in the plants. You could just throw the compost into the plants. It's just nutrients. It's nutrients, and I think that's easier than getting it thrown into the waste and then it being sitting there for hundreds of years.
Gotcha.
Decomposing.
Gotcha. So, which kind of vegetables and gardening and fruits and stuff like that.
You're a big fruit.
That's true. It kind of is the half-assed segue that I'm going to use into getting who our guest is going to be.
No.
Who's running a little bit late because he screwed up and did not get a chance to check his laptop before. So he's downloading it on his phone now. Mr. Mike Cassano, which I don't think Mondo's ever met in person or on the phone or ever. But he owns a few restaurants, and I know that he has some locally sourced stuff.
Well, see, that's something that I would be interested in hearing. I know he's got, would you say he has 2 restaurants?
On the South Shore, yeah.
Okay.
One is called Effin, which I took.
Is it Effin Beauty?
No, yeah, actually it might be Effin Beauty. And then the other one is American Beauty. Effin Beauty used to be Effin Groovin'.
Okay.
Which I don't think I ever went to. I went to American Beauty. You went to Effin Groove, Danielle? Okay.
Oh, so Danielle gives it a thumbs up, a couple of thumbs up actually, and we have a ringer.
So yeah, let's invite Mike on here without further ado, Mr. Cassano.
So let's see if we can admit him.
Jamesy, shut the volume off now.
What's up?
Jamesy, shut the volume off.
We can't see you. You got to turn the video on.
How do I do that? Video. There we fucking go. Better?
There we go.
I don't.
I still don't see you.
You see me?
I see both you guys.
All right, you got to turn your video on.
Yeah, now you have to turn yours on.
Holy shit.
What are you in the car driving while you're doing it?
Yeah, dude. Fucking doing shit. Hold on. Start video.
There we go. Holy crap.
Bistro boys, what's up?
What up, boys?
What's up, man?
Just so you know, we're recording right now, so anything you say
can and will be used against you in a court of law.
That's awesome. I'm good with it, man. This is real life. This is what the shit's all about, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. I guess we could start by telling everybody how I know you, which I'm not really even clear about. How did we meet?
We've the friends have meshed and overlapped. I guess the universe just ping pong balls all over the place. I mean, through friends of friends of friends. You're a Cortland guy. Mm-hmm. My best friend's cousin is Greg, cousins with Cabral.
Gotcha.
And there you go.
And it connects to Cortland and drinking and whatever we've done growing up together.
Yeah. We went to Vegas a few times together back in the heyday, which was fun. Which one we will not be talking about on this out loud to anybody.
Yeah, ever. I mean, whatever happened in Vegas stays there forever.
And we were trying to. I kind of know what you do for a living and what you've done for a living, but just a little brief synopsis of like what you did leading up to you owning the 2 restaurants that you own now.
I've always been in business, always making money, hustling, stuff like that. I went to college to be a chef. Dropped out for a girl. That didn't work out. That was awesome. Then became a stockbroker, got in the finance world. Then from the finance world, did that for about 12 to 15 years, stockbroker, had a brokerage from Manhattan. My mother fell ill in 2007, Alzheimer's, sold my business, took care of my mother 3 to 5 years. She passed, got into the restaurant business.
Gotcha.
Started the career up in Huntington Village, my first restaurant with an old partner. He had a lot of money, but not a lot of sense. I was supposed to bring that to the business. We parted ways, holy shit, 6 years ago, 5 years ago.
And what restaurant was this?
That was Acacia up in Huntington Village.
Okay.
So it was seafood steak, and he wanted to do a club. Our brains didn't match. We didn't have the same vision.
Gotcha.
So that didn't work out together. He was there more to hang out with girls, do some hangouts. And I was there to make
we'll call it that. Yeah, a lot of hangouts.
A lot of hangouts.
Did anything good come of that place? I mean, I know you might have met a girl or something like that.
I met my wife. I also learned what not to do in the industry. I think in any business, the hardest part's not knowing what to do because everyone tell you what to do. It's what not to do.
Gotcha.
We failed so hard, the way that we did everything. Everything this guy tried to teach me was the wrong way to do the business. So I literally learned what not to do in the business. And to me, again, that's more important than knowing what to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
Met the wife. We now have 2 restaurants. Working on the 3rd. We have one in Massapequa, American Beauty Bistro. The other one's Effin Beauty. Used to be the old Effin Groovin. We took half Effin Groovin's name, American Beauty, put it together. And we just purchased another restaurant in Massapequa Park, which we just started construction.
Wow. So even during this pandemic, you were able to get another restaurant right now.
We purchased it about a month before the pandemic.
Oh.
Great timing, right?
Great
the
timing.
So good. We can't let that one go.
Okay.
One of the others might go. We don't know yet. We're
Okay.
we're fighting. We're fighting. You know, the one American Beauty Bistro, we have a very good following. We've been around 4.5 years. Customers love us. Belmore location's been open for about 8 to 9 months. We haven't built that core yet.
Okay.
It was the first year of business where you're grinding it out. You're building your group. Your customers are telling you what you should be and what you need to be to fix everything. So we weren't there yet. So dribs and drabs, we're probably going to shut that one down over the next 2 weeks if the business doesn't pick up.
Okay. So now that they're starting to possibly open up in the next week or two, like how are you going to function? What's the percentage that you guys will allow people to come in? I don't know did they give you a rule of like the percentage of like the max capacity?
They're not even giving us guidance on anything.
Okay.
I haven't gotten what to do, how to clean, nothing. I've called the Department of Health. We've hit our local assemblymen's, and what every restaurant right now, I don't know any other industry, like barbers and stuff, they're giving zero guidance.
Yeah.
So could you technically open up the restaurant right now and have it 100% capacity?
We don't know what would happen at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. So
are they
you
going
don't
to
know.
shut us down? Are they going to come after us? We don't know. So I haven't seen anyone on Long Island yet tested. I've seen a lady in Oregon, a lady in Washington. The lady in Oregon, I believe it was a salon or a tattoo parlor or something. They came after her guns blazing. They sent CPS to her house for her kids. They sent OSHA.
Wow.
They hit her with a $7,000 fine. Then she stayed open. Then they hit her with a $14,000 fine. So they're putting the fear out there.
Was it the one that the salon that the lady was giving haircuts to Ted Cruz? So I think that was Texas.
So.
I think that was Texas. I want to say it was probably Texas.
There's a lot of double.
No, there was another one in Oregon. Then there's definitely Oregon or Washington.
Yeah, I know they haven't given us any regulations for the gym stuff, and I work, partly for the government as well, and they have, they're barely holding on with what information they're giving out because it's always trickling down from the top, and the top in our state seems to want to keep everybody closed for as long as possible.
Well, someone in Jersey just opened up their gym today. He was like, "I don't care, I'm opening up the gym," and he gave his reasons. I didn't get into the article as much, but he has it open. I know it was another gym in Pennsylvania that opened up on their own. And I was just wondering, because I worked in the restaurant business for 10 to 12 years, and I have friends that are in it now still. And so are you guys doing takeout in both restaurants as of right now?
That's all we're doing is the takeout. And the SLA has loosened restrictions, State Liquor Authority. We could sell to-go containers. We could sell liquor to go. We could sell it outside. A lot of guys are getting shut down that are serving the liquor to them while they're waiting for food. There were 2 businesses, I believe, that got shut down for that.
So you can't serve liquor to them while they're waiting for their food?
They cannot be drinking in your establishment. They cannot be taking a seat in your establishment. I had to put all my bar stools away, all my chairs away.
Okay.
Did you have to let obviously you had to let a lot of people go then?
It's not a matter of letting them go.
Yeah.
I would have loved to let people go. People are not coming in. I have bartenders or waitresses that had one shift making $187 a week with me. They're now sitting home making $800.
Yeah.
So they will not come back to work. I've lost an entire kitchen in Belmore. They were making $500-600 a week. They're sitting at home making $1,200. I apologize. They're out at other restaurants getting cash and collecting their $1,200.
So you're having a hard time getting employees to come back to work now.
They won't come back. And they're texting me very specifically, I do not feel safe. And what they're doing is, I know this for a fact, working in other places.
Okay, so they're actually collecting from the government as well, and then getting cash on the side.
Do you have an obligation to hire those people back when everything is back up and running, or?
I got my PPP.
Yeah.
I have to probably give most of it back because they making us spend that money within 8 weeks of getting it. I'm running at 30% of the staff I had, and they want 75% of that PPP to go to payroll within 8 weeks of receiving it. I received it 2 weeks ago. I've gone through 4%.
Really?
Wow.
I don't have staff. I don't have staff to actually.
And you can't even hire anybody right now, like anybody in general, to come in.
I will put on the podcast. Whoever would like to come work for Michael Cassano on the books, please come. I will pay you.
Wow. So it's that bad.
It's that bad. And it's everywhere. All the other restaurants. I know in town, another restaurant, naming names, they opened for 3 days. I saw the guy go, what happened? He goes, Mike, I lost my kitchen. He goes, they're not coming back, kid. He goes, I can't get anyone back. And he's 10 times busier than me. And he had to close.
That's crazy.
He has no staff.
I mean,
this extra $600 they gave everybody to stay home.
Yeah. I have, I work for, like I said, the government, and I had to ask 2 people to come back because we're starting to open up different facilities throughout the system that I work in. And they were like, I can only work X amount of hours and still collect this $600 a week. So they're playing a game. I mean, some of them came back and they're like, I can only work here, here, and here, and I can work these days, and you're in a bind. You know how slow the hiring process could be for good people. Right now you're telling anybody basically that you give them a job.
Typically in the business, in our business, you hire slowly and you fire fast. I'm hiring anyone I can get my hands on.
Gotcha.
You can deliver the food. Come on over. I don't care about your priors, who you work for. If you're going to be late, just come on down. I will hire you. I have work for you.
So wait, what kind of food do you guys actually have at both restaurants? Is it the same, or is there 2 different styles?
It's pretty much the same motif. The Bistro, American Beauty, Massapequa, burgers, quesadillas. We do some tapas, meat and cheese boards, stuff like that. Over at Effin, the same thing. The difference between the 2 is at Effin, we have very, very eclectic beer. So it's kind of like the best beer in America.
Gotcha. And so are you selling those in growlers and stuff like
growlers? I have a canning machine. We purchased a canning machine when this whole thing went down. So I'm doing to-go cocktails, to-go beers, and they're sealed in a can. So they go out no problem.
That's very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. Not in that. I mean, not here, not around here. I haven't heard that.
Mike's always been like a very motivated guy and a hard worker. He's got a lot of energy, as you can tell. I mean, this is probably him on 1 hour sleep because he's got about 25 kids now. So
yeah, we have number 4. So I'm 43 years old with a 1-year-old.
Wow.
Oh, keep it in your pants.
So you're saying no, he doesn't. He's keeping it out.
Done. It's over. Game's over.
So the loans don't do anything for you as for your company?
It did. I mean, I'm going to get 25% of it I could use towards utilities and the rent, but that's it. That 25% will get us through 8 weeks for those numbers. It's a 1% loan. If it's not forgiven, it turns to a 1% loan. So I'm going to sit on that cash and not give it back right away. At 1%, it's free money.
Gotcha.
So if there's an emergency or something like that, we'll use it. But to be honest, I mean, there's guys that got PPP. I know a guy in a barber shop. He's still not open. He got his PPP 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but even if they're not, does it make sense? Because they're not allowed to be open.
So they gave him his money, but what's he supposed to do? He's got to give that money back in 4 weeks, or it's a loan.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get it. I applied for it twice.
Oh, yeah, for
the first round, we got screwed over because they just never got back. We all did. And the second round, I'm still waiting for them to get back to me. And I don't know about your corporation, but the way I'm set up, I don't take a paycheck. So I can't pay myself from that at all. So it's not even worth me really taking it because I'm going to have to pay the loan back. I mean,
did you get the EIDL?
No, we didn't get that either.
Oh, so what is the EIDL?
It's separate. I don't know the specifics of it, but it's a disaster relief. It was the emergency money right away to help you out.
Yeah, we didn't get that.
Then they go through all your finances, and then they offer you a loan.
Okay.
Over a time frame. The thing that you should look into that, Dave, the reason is all of these loans, which is crazy, and there's definitely scum out there that are going to take advantage of it, is there's no PGs on anything. There's not one personal guarantee. So you could spend all this money and your company goes bankrupt and the government's left holding the bag either way.
It's just on your corp, and then you could bankrupt that corporation.
Bankrupt that corporation and move along. Go to the next one.
Wow.
Gotcha. I don't want to jump around. We had some questions, but you said that you had it out with somebody when I talked to you personally. We were just shooting the shit. You had it out with somebody online, somebody big.
Yes.
You
So
wanna
what
tell that
happened
story?
was I was getting more and more pissed off because I started seeing these guys like Ruth Chris getting the money, Shake Shack got the money. I'm always a guy that I think everything should be fair. I don't begrudge anyone. You make $20 million, make all your money, do what you want to do. But again, when this was about survival, guy named Milton, who is Tesla's #1 competitor, and he's worth $10.5 billion, he got the PPP. So I was on Facebook 2 a.m, all pissed off and cranky. He started messaging all the CEOs that took all the money and Bank of America and Chase. This guy responded.
Wow. To get a response.
He responded. He said, absolutely, we took it. We have 350 families we provide for. I'm not the reason you didn't get yours. Whole bunch of shit. So I wrote back, do you think that you would have survived without it? Quiet. He goes, this is the last question I'm going to answer. The fuck did he write? The last question I'm going to answer. He wasn't giving the money back. It's pretty much what he summed up.
You could paraphrase, yeah.
Paraphrase. I said, listen, that's your moral code. You didn't need the money to survive. I feel guilty, like even the guys like that have gyms and that have barbershops that I got money, they didn't get anything. And I'm open. I'm doing, let's call it 3,000-4,000 a week in revenue versus 15-20, which we're used to, but I'm able to go to work. The gyms, the barbershops, they should be getting the full amount of money. I shouldn't be getting the full amount. I shouldn't have gotten that full amount. I should have gotten half of what they gave me.
Yeah.
So I like a fair playing field, and none of this shit's fucking fair anymore.
Yeah. I mean, one of the reasons why I think gyms and barbershops are getting screwed over a little bit is because they're always a cash business. When personal trainers come in, they're not technically your employees.
Yeah, 1099, right?
Sometimes you can use it for 1099 from what I understand for the PPP, but I don't think most personal trainers are doing that. I don't think they're filing their taxes like most people would. And I don't think a barbershop, maybe those barbers aren't doing exactly what they should normally. So, and I'm not saying that's wrong. I think you got to get by, and I don't believe in giving the government a free loan every time you make a buck, but
yeah,
I think that might be one of the reasons why some of this shit's happening too. And it might be something we can fix in the future, but who knows?
Listen, at this point, what's going to go forward is, and I'll tell you this, and I've done it, we've all done it, buy you guys off the books and shit like that. It ain't happening anymore.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the cut for that now.
So it is what it is. I mean, I had 2 guys that were off the books in the loans, and I was all mad. I'm like, oh, you cost me $40,000 in loans. I could have had more money. I wouldn't have been able to pay it back anyway. So that came and went real quick. So but again, level playing field. That guy, $1.5 billion. He could have made it without the $4 million. There's people going out of business, can't feed their families. He didn't need the money. You didn't need it. You shouldn't take it. So
now, do you I know they're going to start opening up slowly, hopefully soon. Now, if the government was to tell you like, hey, listen, you can only have 25% capacity, do you think it's worth it to open for the 25% capacity?
I'll do whatever it takes at this point. The reason it probably will be, and I'll explain, what we're going to do to change our atmosphere. The place will be packed with people that are not afraid. And it will be busy from the time I open to the time I close because we have a certain amount of percentages. Typically on our given day, we're not that busy between 4 and 5 p.m., 5 and 6, and it gets busy 6:30 to 8, and then it dies out by 9:30. I think we'll be able to fill every single time slot with a full restaurant at that 25% capacity.
Gotcha.
The problem that we're having, and the reason why I'm not making as much money or being able to provide for our families, we can't sell, the booze isn't going as much as the food. And our food cost in the restaurant business is up 30%.
Why would that
be? Well, because I think in all grocery stores as well, I think are up too. I think most of the prices have shot up on all those supplies.
Pork was 95 cents a pound. Pork's now $2.30.
So
chicken was $1.20. We're over. It's supply and demand. Yeah. They're not producing. Tyson plants are getting shut down. Pilgrim's Pride's, they're shutting down their factories. These guys are taking precautions.
So actually, so my next question would be like, are you guys having trouble getting supplies now?
Yes, 1,000%. Yes. On Mother's Day, I had 47 filet mignons going out. Meat company came and said, yeah, we got 25 for you. I'm like, wait, but I sold them. They're like, well, that's all we got. I was over at Stu Leonard's buying, meat at top price.
Wow.
But they're having trouble getting the food. And once these guys go back in full swing, if Middle America, thank God Middle America is open right now. Hopefully they're going back to work. That's where all our food supplies come from. Hopefully they can get it adjusted before we start glomming all their food up. Mm-hmm. I'm worried about the chicken and the chopped meat. We went from $5.99 a pound to $8.99. I mean, we're looking 30-40% pops.
And your profit margin on food was thin to begin with. You know, so
we typically run, the big corporations, they run 9 to 12% because they spend all their money and they do everything legitimately. We run usually 17 to 22%. Right now, I'm running 8 to 9%.
Wow. So at this point, like you said, it'd be worth to open for 25%, right? Correct? Or even 50% if you could. But now, would you do like a deep cleaning? Like, is there any way that you're thinking about how to actually handle this now so that people are protected?
Well, what we're going to be doing is every single table that gets up or sits down, that entire table, the chairs, disinfected. Every time someone walks through that front door, disinfect the doorknob. The bathroom, same thing. We're trying to get a hand washing system that's going to be in the dining room, that if someone wants to wash their hands or something happens, they can wash their hands. I believe we might be doing throwaway silverware. We don't know yet.
Okay, so you're trying to be as creative as possible at this point.
Yeah, Liz, there are some people who don't give a rat's ass. They don't want to wear the mask. They think that this thing's all a hoax. And then you have the other side where if they see you without that mask, they call in the Department of Health and they want to get you.
My thing is, like, how are you, like, okay, you can wear a mask going into the restaurant, right? But, like, when you're eating the food, you're going to have to take the mask off.
We could cut a hole in it.
That's for other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you.
So what do you do? I mean, the mask has to be worn, correct? If you're entering the place. So, like, what are you going to do? You're going to take off the mask, put it on the table, eat your food, and then when you're done, you're going to put the mask back on and walk out.
It's always.
It's going to come down to, if you're that afraid of going out to eat, I'm going to tell people, please don't come. Don't come to bust my balls, because we're all at the point, I'm not taking anyone's shit. I'm the most hospitable industry and most hospitable guy, but in like these drastic situations for it, you come in, you want to eat, we do the right thing by you, but all that other stuff, it's not going to work in the industry.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know how we're going to see people at the bar, and they want to feel safe, but they want my bartender to be safe. But if you look at other states right now, a lot of red states, they're open up with no masks.
Oh, I mean, yeah, and so you're not going to have a bar scene, right? Are you going to have people at the bar?
Right. I would like to, with space or whatever the case may be. Again, the main thing that we're looking for is guidance. Until I have that 100% guidance, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah. I mean, and do you think you're going to get the guidance?
I keep asking.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we're not really hearing anything about how they want us to open, and how you guys want to open up, and how to take the precautions that you need. It seems like everyone's just thinking of their own idea, and then just like, we're gonna do this until someone tells us we can't.
Yeah, that's poor political guidance, which is pretty much. I mean, I don't want to talk badly about any politician. I know the job is a hard job.
Do that. Why are you?
It's you're breaking up on us, man. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, every conversation I have now in the political realm is just us talking in circles. One person says, this is how we're going to open. The next person says, well, this is the problem with how we're going to open. And then we go back to the original statement. Well, how are we going to work around it? And there's no workarounds for not being in contact with people when you want to go outside and you want to go to a restaurant. There's no workaround. You can't work around it. You can't be safe enough all the time.
Correct.
So there has to be some sort of.
It's not going to work with anything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, we lost you there. I couldn't see. I just saw this.
I mean, you look pretty, but we can't hear.
You look absolutely adorable, but like we can't hear anything you're saying right now.
You good? You still there?
I'm not saying anything, so you're good. I'm still here.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you seem like you're in good spirits, though, which is nice. It's nice to see you smile and you're happy.
Maria.
We lost you. We lost you again. You still there?
I'm back.
See, I like this, like, floating interview.
There we go.
There he is, in and out.
There you go. I had to shut the Wi-Fi off.
Gotcha. I mean, I got to talk to you a little bit the other day about this, and like I said, you know, you're in good spirits. You're a happy guy. It's got to be tough, though. I mean, is it straining? You know, the at-home stuff. Is it making it tough to deal with Maria or
and the kids?
Oh, yeah. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? I'm in the car with my wife. Okay, 2 of the 4 kids with me, going to my mother-in-law's and my other 2 kids. Okay, this is fucking insane.
All in slow motion too. It was all in slow motion.
Dude, this is insane. If
So
we make it out of this together, holy shit, that's a bonus.
Nice.
So has your alcohol intake been more in the past couple of weeks, months?
No. You don't want to know why? Because I had a fucking hangover. That was not worth it. That was not worth it.
Yeah, no, definitely not, man. It's tough. It's a tough to total line. Are you open up 7 days a week still, or are you closed?
7 days Americans, 6 days over at Effin.
Okay.
You know, we're there as much as we possibly can. I do the runs to Restaurant Depot, and a lot of the vendors have jacked their price up, so I try and find ways to save money. The kids with school, you know, my wife's going through chemotherapy now. She just finished up her cancer surgery. So
good to hear. Everything okay with her?
Everything. We got 0 cancer, and the chemotherapy now is just going to continue to make sure nothing comes back.
Congratulations. That's awesome to hear.
That's good stuff, man. You know, listen, when shit does go wrong, or we start freaking out with the kids, I look at my wife and say, guess what? She said, what? You don't have cancer anymore. So,
and there you go.
I mean,
see, that's the optimistic. That's optimistic. That's good.
You have to be if you become a fucking murderer. Oh, shit.
So at the restaurants, at both restaurants, are you doing delivery and pickup?
Delivery and pickup, and I got DoorDash working, and I got Grubhub working.
Did you have those before?
No.
So let me ask you a question. I know, like, you have the Grubhub and the DoorDash and stuff like that. Do they charge an insane amount of money for the food to be delivered?
Yes, but it's not insane because they have to make money too. Everyone's going to complain it's too much money. They take about 30% of the money.
From you or from?
No, I think it's 30% from them.
No, from us.
Oh, okay.
30% of whatever the ticket is, they get the 30%. What I try to explain to people is I don't have to pay the insurance. I'm not paying an employee to sit there in case something comes through and stuff like that. In the end run, that extra 30% is probably the number. And
you're okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, they do all the marketing. They're getting people that I wouldn't get. They're throwing commercials up and stuff. They're promoting my business. Don't get it twisted. Every single to-go bag with their stuff, I put a card in there that says, don't pay Grubhub fees next time. Call us directly.
I mean, that's pretty smart.
It is what it is.
What was that Groupon service? Did you ever deal with Groupon?
Yes, I did. When I was
the worst.
Introduced to the business, I did. And I thought it'd be a great idea to get people out there. There are 10% of the Groupon people are actually using it to test things out. The other 90% are there to get, you know, filet mignon and whatever they can get at you for less than $2. And they're not really the repeat customer that you want.
So are you doing any advertisement yourself?
My wife does all the Instagram and the Facebook and social media. Is pretty good.
Okay,
really
so what's your social media handle for the restaurants?
What's the social media? American Beauty Bistro.
Try not to kill us.
And the other one's Effin Beauty. I don't know.
I got them. I'll put them up on the
screen. Yeah, we'll put them up
us.
so that people can know exactly where it is.
They're gonna be like right about here.
Yeah, because you can see. But I mean, the restaurant. I mean, so you've been in the restaurant business for the longest. For how long now? You said. I'm sorry.
I've been doing this since 2012.
And this has to be the hardest part right now, right? This is the hardest that you've ever been through.
I've spoken to a lot of the restaurant owners, and we all compare it to going to your first year in the business again. So this is just like opening a brand new restaurant. The first year's the hardest, and we're all doing it all over again.
So do you know how long you think you can sustain yourself with the way it's going now?
We're gonna find out. I mean, listen, Cinco de Mayo into Mother's Day, we made money that week. A lot of money. We did. You know, I did very well. The following week, last week, not so much. You know, so you'll go from a $7,000 profit one week, the next week losing 6,000-7,000.
Is that the normal trend during those weeks, or is that?
No.
I mean, yeah. So with the weather warming up, you think that's going to help you out?
I don't know which way it's going because again, Saturday night was a beautiful day, and I called my friend who owns a Brooklyn Dip. He's like, "Oh, we're fucked tonight," and we both got drilled. We both made we had a good Saturday night. Friday night, the night before, not so much. So there's no rhyme or reason right now. Competition's growing now too because a lot of places, if you get your PPP money, you had to open.
Yeah.
So everybody that was closed is now open. So our favorite Italian place just reopened. Oh, this place just reopened. So even if you're in their regular routine, they're testing out other places and trying things out.
You have outdoor seating?
I have the outdoor seating waiting. I have it separated. I was going to do it this week. Either way, the wife has gone against it. If I had my way, the place would be open. I mean, like fucking open.
Like 100%.
It is what it is. Gotta survive. You want to arrest me? Go ahead. I'll get a good night's sleep away from the 4 kids.
It's like my cousin Vinny.
Yeah. 1,000%
Except there's gonna be like a brawl.
I
to
can
wake you up.
use a good ass kicking. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's got to be the toughest time for restaurants. It's brutal right now.
I feel more bad for guys like Dave as well because there's a lot of businesses out there don't have a lot of employees, but I mean, what's going on? They're not open and they couldn't get PPP and they can't get the EILD. What do guys like that do at this point?
Luckily, I'm in a good situation, and I won't blast out what my situation is because we have 3 partners basically that we can sustain ourselves. So all the people that do come in and bring the extra money, it's great and it's a profit. But right now I couldn't even tell you where the next month's rent's going to come from. I honestly don't know because who the hell is going to go to a gym when we open up?
And that's the next thing.
I think a lot more people than you think, man.
I hope so.
I mean, I put out there on the moms groups and the dads groups, hey guys, what do you think if I did open? And the line of people saying, I'd be there, save me a spot, I'll be there first. Mm-hmm. Again, everyone talks, see if they'd actually show up.
So you think you're going to do it this week?
I'm trying to. She's out of the car. Fucking A right I am. This is fucking insane. My staff's begging to open. The guys that stuck around, the guys that didn't take the unemployment, that did the right thing, they're begging to work. I have people all over the place. Mike, please open. I'll sit at your bar. If the cops come, I swear to Christ, we'll make a human chain. People are done with this shit.
Yeah.
We live in a red state, blue state. If we lived in a red state, we'd be open. Is the air here different? Oh, we have more people? No. Inner cities in Georgia and Atlanta, the same thing as over here. Inner cities in Texas are the same as here. Don't tell me we're more dense. You live in the air's no fucking different. We'll see in about a week if people start really dying in the other.
He's friends with Abood, maybe because since Abood has off the rest of the summer, maybe you can have him and Altieri stay at the front door.
In a heartbeat.
Oh man.
But, yeah, I wanna open, man.
And I can understand that. I mean, you have a family to support.
And you know what? There's a lot of other guys that are waiting for the one person to open. And fuck it, I was full on the sword for a little bit. Let's see what happens. The guy across the street at Kirsch's, he's like, open up, I'll open up. So, this
I guess,
week.
Yeah.
I mean,
if everybody opens, what are you
going to do? Are you going to attack everybody? I mean, I think it's going to be a chain reaction, and there's going to be a lot of hostility. It might get crazy for a second. I don't know if there's.
You're going to have the people who are pissed. The Karens of the world, and they're going to want to know why you're fucking open and shut that place down. Don't ever go there. But it is what it is.
People will forget about it in a couple months. Anyway.
No, it's not even that, though. Some of these people are allowed to be home and collect unemployment, and that's not fair to the people that need to work and need the money to survive. I mean, you're not getting $1,100 every week. Like
they're paying them to stay
exactly
home.
So that's why they're able to say that. But that's why they're able to say that. Someone who's an essential worker who has to work there and pick up the garbage or whatever, let's just say, I mean, they're not collecting that $1,100. They're out there working. So what makes them different from you staying at home? They have to still be out there working, or the person that's working at the stores. I mean, at this point now, you're gonna kind of have to open up a little bit. We need the economy to start getting money. Like, we need that, or we're gonna fall. And then the other countries are gonna fall just as well. They need us to open up.
It's systematic. No one believed in trickle down. Well, they're gonna see trickle up. This is gonna get retarded.
Yeah.
the amount of businesses that aren't reopening. Guy I know, very good friend of mine, Bravo Nader in Huntington Village. He's done. He had to shut his doors. He's done. That landlord, he had 11 employees. Now the fish guy that he does business with, Cisco that he does business with, this is all systematic. That guy probably generates $1.5–2 million a year in revenue. That's gone.
That's crazy.
That's taxes gone. That's money gone. And he's not the only one. So it's going to get really friggin' ugly really soon.
Yeah, it might. And because people are already frustrated to begin with.
You have friends that own businesses in the city, in the heart of Manhattan.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Shut fucking down. He's got nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I've been talking to the guy from Kima a little bit, and down here in the island, he's been basically living at the place because he has no employees, and he's doing everything himself just to kind of get things running so he can make a little money for his family. But those places in Manhattan,
the rent's got to be it's horrendous.
Yeah. My partner's got to, Liz, though, they're gonna have to renegotiate because there's nobody else moving into that space, and also it's not just the people who are out of business, the guys who are doing business. My neighbor in Massapequa Park, he's a trader on Wall Street, and he told me that they're not going back to work in the city. He's like, so I'm moving out of Long Island. These guys aren't going to be in the city anymore. All these companies that, had to do everything remotely, seeing that it's working and they're saving millions of dollars.
Yeah.
The real estate in New York City is going to plummet.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of years because I don't know if we're going to get hit right away in the next 6 months or so, but I think like in a year from now, we're going to see something that, I think we're going to get hit real hard within the next year. And, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, I really do feel bad for people who own businesses in the city, even here, you guys as well. I mean, it's tough.
Well, I mean, Mike was around during the last economic depression. He's so old, but I wasn't, and they recovered, and we'll recover too. But it's going to be a while.
Everything will go back to normal. Everything's a cycle. I remember being in the stock. When I was a stockbroker and I owned a brokerage firm. When I first got in, they had transaction plus 5 days. All right, now it's T plus 3. Then it's T plus 2. Now you had that money in the account. Every year, someone would have a reason why you're not going to make it in the industry. The market would crash. It would go back. 99, 2002, 2008. It is what it is. We're going to go through some shit, but there's always hard workers out there that are going to plow through, open businesses, and go for it again. None of these business owners are going to just quit and go work for someone else.
Yeah,
One of my places, I told my wife, we might have to start putting it on the market, selling it, or give the keys back. There's only a certain amount of money as a business owner, as a smart individual, that you're willing to risk. Because if you start back in the industry, down 150, down 200,000, down 350. How long is it going to take you to make that back versus handing the keys back and starting something new?
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's actually a conversation I had with my business partners. What do we do if this goes until July, right? Well, we're behind 3 months rent, without knowing the number on my rent and the money that we could have been making off of what we were doing. That's, say it's triple what the rent would cost and I'm down in the hole. When the hell am I ever going to make that money back? Do I just say, you know what, here's the keys back, go work at a big gym that stayed open for a while and continue to do personal training and, maybe try to open something up down in the future? It's a possibility. It might happen. I mean.
Well, you can also, not to be the vulture, there's plenty of guys right now looking at opportunities of guys failing in the businesses. I'm sure there's a business or a gym out there that's small that you guys can go and scoop up. Yeah. Or you negotiate with their landlord. Listen, that guy's not going to pay you. We have cash right now. Yeah. So right now, any business that has cash, they're kings right now. There's going to be a lot of money made from this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's going to make the money? That's the question.
So it's the people that kept it underneath their sofa.
Yeah, I wish. I mean,
or their bed.
The last depression, or the biggest depression before this is going to happen. Most of the people that made the money were the rich. Most of the people that came out of the Great Depression were like the Rockefellers and the J.P. Morgans and that kind of stuff, and they just got crazy rich, beyond rich.
Like Bezos, he's going to be a trillionaire, the first trillionaire.
This is where they separate the wealth. Not talking like India, but it's going to keep separating. The middle class going to keep getting separated. We're going to see where it turns out. I mean, this is, as you guys, unprecedented.
Yeah.
Well, I know if the shit hits the fan, I'm going to go to Altieri's house in the woods, and we're going to arm up, and we're just going to wait for the shit to get back to normal.
You know what? It's not crazy to think that there could be a civil war. People are pissed off. I'm not talking about the guys on TV, my civil liberties, this and the other thing. You have business owners that have worked their entire life and it's being taken away from them. That will make a motherfucker snap.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what people are capable of at this point. If there is more food shortages, if we have a second wave, holy shit, what do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean that's supposed to come in September. So like, what is everyone going to try to make as much money as they can between now and September, and then hunker down again?
Well, I'm keeping my eye on Sweden. They didn't shut anything down. Their deaths are rising like really fucking fast. Maybe they shouldn't have just let it completely open. But let's see what happens to them economically and the deaths, because our numbers aren't real over here either. I have a friend working at a hospital, and he's like, Mike, they're marking every single death because they get additional hazard money from the insurance company and the government if they mark it COVID.
I think it was like if they're COVID, they're $39,000 they get per.
Yeah,
per
so I don't know what it is. He said, I have guys having heart attacks. He goes, they're marking them COVID.
Yep.
I have guys dying from this. He goes, they're marking it COVID.
And that's what I heard too.
Because they get the money. He goes, and they're not doing the tests on the dead bodies to see if they even fucking had COVID.
Well, that's fucking very conspiracy, and it seems like it's very true. I mean, it's hard to argue that point.
I mean, but
he's there. He does, my friend, he's a scientist. He does COVID testing for the hospital, flu testing for the hospital. And his last thing was, he's getting a lot more tests in, but a lot less positives. He's like, we're still busy. He told me the hospital's still fucking busy because they have a truck out back. People are dying every fucking day. He said, but he's getting a lot more tests in where he has to do, 60, 70 tests him alone per day. And they're, 80 to 90% of it coming back negative.
Yeah, because the number is only around 2%, somewhere along that line, I think. And then listen, I can understand because I've known people who've had it. I didn't know anybody who passed away from it. I knew other people who said that someone has passed away that they knew. But I mean, at what point do you say like
enough's enough? That we have to take the risk. Polio happened. I was talking to my neighbor the other day. He said, when I was a kid and you had measles, he goes, the doctor came to your house, put a sign on your door and said, stay away from the house. They have measles there. He goes, that's what we did. Yeah, he goes, now everyone wants to be safe and make sure everything's okay. He goes, just don't let them out. It is what it is. I'm not one of those only the strong survive type guys, but there's got to be a time where we're all going to suffer. That can't be.
Do you think, obviously this is all conjecture, but, we open up, we're full steam ahead. The numbers rise a little bit and they just let it go. I mean, maybe it's a thinning of the herd, but maybe it's the earth cleansing itself. And I don't want to get all weird with that kind of stuff, but
chill, Thanos.
Yeah, it's they said older people at risk, then they said everybody's at risk, and they said younger people are carrying. You never know what's the truth, but maybe just keep the older population at home or the people that are at higher risk.
You don't want to hear afraid be home, but now they're trying the bullshit with the kids. And there's 80 kids. Out of 100 million children, 80 kids died or got sick.
Yeah.
What's that surfacing now? It's fear.
But that's funny, though. Like, this virus all of a sudden can change like that and all of a sudden start attacking kids. I mean, we can go all day with this stuff, Yeah. But, I mean, this right now is about, you and your restaurant and other people who have restaurants as well. I know a lot of people are going to tune in and to listen to this. Other restaurant owners, they were telling me, like, I'm interested in hearing what this person has to say. And you gave us some great stuff, honestly.
Yeah. No, I'm happy that you came on, man.
Number one thing that I want to get through to everyone, we need fucking guidance. They're fucking fighting politically, and every industry needs guidance. I don't give a shit if it's a gym, it's a barbershop, a restaurant. Give us fucking guidance. Give me the playing field to play on, and I could be good at the game. But I don't want to go to the game and have red cards flying. Oh, you're done. Oh, you're done. Someone freaking out. Someone getting sick. Last thing I want, someone fucking getting sick.
100%. Yep.
I have a fear of someone getting sick. My wife said to me, she goes, what if someone got sick in a restaurant? They died. She goes, you know your personality. You couldn't deal with that. I couldn't. It would fucking kill me. Yeah. So I want to be safe. I want to do the right thing, but we got to move forward. I mean, all the restaurant guys were getting smoked. Guys will be out of the business. It's going to thin the herd in my industry of brand new restaurant guys that had no idea what they were doing and just try to get into the restaurant industry. They're out. Those guys are out. So it's going to be a rich man's game at one point to be able to even stay in the industry.
Like, just the franchises survive and those types of things.
That's it.
I mean,
Because even guys like myself, my taxes aren't great. If you do everything 100% by the fucking book in this industry, you run at 8 to 9% profitability. And now after all this bullshit, everyone's got to run everything the right way. You have no choices. I with these insurance companies getting sued and stuff, you better believe these when they come in, they check everything out and they do their survey. It's going to be a lot tougher. Workman's comp. Do you understand what a workman's comp's going to be like next year?
It's almost better. It's almost better that I didn't have employees because it would have killed me.
57. I received 57 because it's all the employees you had for the past 2 years. 57 unemployments, and it's showing how much we owe. And like, oh, this will affect your insurance next year. It's almost stupid not to go bankrupt in the next 6 months. Keep that money and try and reopen another fucking restaurant. Yeah, because if you have a loan for 1%, right? Say it's $15,000, and then you put it in some stocks and you actually make some money off of it. Right? It's like, why not do that? Because you could put it into a fund and make 3% off of it, and you're making some money. Oh man,
and I'm sure people are doing that.
There are those risky guys, but that's crazy. That's you don't know which way that's going, dude.
No,
I know.
Bad. I know, and then you lose it all, and you got to pay it back anyway. That's probably why I'm thinking about it, because I could never play that game. If Mondo doesn't have any more questions, I don't have any more questions for you. I mean, again, I just want to say I really appreciate you coming on.
I really appreciate it.
Man. I really freaking enjoyed it, man.
Because I think you really gave us some good stuff to work with, and hopefully whoever's listening to this, other businesses, they got to be thinking the same exact thing. So it's good to hear, your perspective on it.
Awesome, man.
If guys want to get together and they want to have a day to open or whatever the hell you want to call it, Bastille Day, whatever the fuck it is, I'm in. Give me a ring, put it on Facebook, under a pseudonym, whatever you want. You guys want to open? I'm ready to open. This is crazy. This is insane. Again, I like a fair playing field. Other states are open, we're not. That's not fair. That's bullshit.
Gotcha. So if you want to just hit the end button on the call, we're gonna do a little wrap up afterwards. But thanks again, man. I'll put all your information up. Hopefully, this drives some business to your way.
Mike, thank you, man. Be safe. Be good.
Thanks, boys. Be safe.
See you later.
Thank you.
Did you figure it out? All right, man. That was awesome.
That was good. I mean, I'm to be like closed for the last 2 months. It has to be over 2 months now, and try to survive right now for these restaurants. Even anybody in business itself, it's got to be tough. And I think we're getting to a point right now where we're getting upset, and we're gonna, I could see rioting starting.
Yeah, it's a scary thought. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be a part of rioting, but I know. I know some people that are a little more extreme and alarmist might be a part of that. And it's, people that we know and people that are in our everyday life. And it's not just the extremists that would be part of that. It would be like regular business owners that would just have to go against, the martial law that's being put on us right now.
Well, absolutely. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, their family, they have to survive.
Yeah.
And like I said, this virus is deadly. It is deadly. But at what price do we keep everything closed?
I don't know.
Because I think you're going to take more people out, more lives away. Hunger is going to come. It's if the stores don't open up, if the restaurants don't open up, and all these places, people are going to be broke, have no money, and then what do? What do they do? Start
stealing, killing, murdering. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not advocating that, but I think that's what desperate people do. I've been desperate in my life, and I've gotten to points where I thought how am I going to make that next paycheck? And it gets scary if you don't have family to rely on, or you don't have a place to live. Luckily, there's safeguards against that. You can't get evicted from a place for a certain amount of time. You can't get foreclosed on from your house for a certain amount of years, so you can ride it out a little bit. But if no money's coming in, you can't eat, so you're gonna have to find a way to do it. And maybe some people will listen. Maybe some the people powers that be, if you will, will listen, and they will try to do something that's going to help us get past this a little sooner than later.
Yeah, no, I mean, eventually we're gonna have to. Everything has to open up, and like I said, and you stated it before. Like I agree that the older population should stay home, and let the younger people come out and help out as much as they can. Like I help out my parents. I don't let them out of the house. I take care of everything and make sure that they're being taken care of. But when I do go out, I do wear a mask. When we go to stores, I wear a mask. I don't wear gloves, but I'm not cross-contaminating, but I do wear masks. And that's the best that you could possibly can do.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing else you can do, and then hope for hope for something to happen, a cure or whatever the case may be. That, you know, eventually there is a vaccine that can help everybody and we can get back to normalcy.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's going to happen for a while.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, not to belabor the point, but me and Mondo aren't going to solve this today on the podcast. I don't think there's enough brain power between us to even screw in a light bulb at this point.
I don't even know where I am right now.
As always, thank you for joining us on Mondo and the Big Guy. I'm the Big Guy. Peace out.
Take it easy, guys.